5 a.m. The alarm goes off. Most people hit snooze once, twice, 3 times. They're negotiating with a clock that doesn't care about their feelings. Fast forward to 8:15 a.m. This same person is now white-knuckling their steering wheel on the I-405. Or they're sprinting through Penn Station, dodging tourists like an Olympic hurdler. Their heart rate is 110 beats per minute and they haven't even sat down at their desk yet. They are a victim of the rush. But there's a small percentage of the population who lives differently. These are the people who arrived 20 minutes ago. They aren't stressed. They aren't sweating. They're sipping a coffee, watching the chaos from the outside in. This isn't just a time management hack. This is a sophisticated psychological defense mechanism. Today we're going deep into the psychology of people who always arrive before the rush, and why this one habit might be the single biggest predictor of your mental clarity. Let's talk about the biology of crowds. Humans are inherently social, but we have strict limits. In the 1960s, anthropologist Edward T. Hall introduced the world to proxemics. He categorized human space into 4 distinct zones. The most critical for our discussion is the intimate and personal zones. For an American, that personal bubble is roughly 1.5 to 4 feet. This isn't just a preference, it's a biological boundary. When you're in a rush, this boundary is violated constantly. Think about a crowded subway or a packed elevator during peak hours. Your amygdala, the brain's smoke detector, senses these intrusions as threats. It triggers a micro-stress response. Your body releases a hit of cortisol. It's a primal reaction meant to protect you from predators. But in 2026, the predator is just a guy named Dave holding a briefcase too close to your face. Now layer on the density-intensity theory by Jonathan Friedman. Friedman found that crowds act as a psychological amplifier. If you're at a concert having fun, the crowd makes you happier. But if you're running late for a presentation, the crowd turns your mild anxiety into a full-blown fight-or-flight crisis. This is why the rush feels so violent. It's not just the delay, it's the physical and psychological invasion of your space. The person who arrives early, they never even enter this battlefield. They operate in a zone of low density. Their amygdala stays quiet, their cortisol stays baseline. They've essentially protected their mental bandwidth before the day even begins. Let's look at the halo effect, a classic cognitive bias. This is how your arrival time dictates your social status. In America, time is money is more than a cliché. It's a moral code. When you arrive early, you aren't just being on time. You are signaling surplus. You have a surplus of time, a surplus of preparation, and a surplus of calm. We subconsciously associate calm with competence. Imagine 2 co-workers. Co-worker A slides into the meeting 30 seconds late, breathless, searching for a pen. Co-worker B is already seated, notebook open, drink in hand, looking at the window. Who does the boss trust more with a high-stakes project? It's the halo effect in action. We assume co-worker B has their life together because they conquered the clock. This brings us to a concept in behavioral economics called loss aversion, or TD. Daniel Kahneman, the godfather of this field, showed that losing hurts twice as much as winning feels good. When you're part of the rush, you're in a constant state of losing. You lose the good parking spot at the office. You lose the chance to get the freshest coffee. You lose the opportunity for that casual 2-minute chat with a senior exec in the lobby. These small losses accumulate. They create a scarcity mindset. You start your day feeling like the world is taking things away from you. But the early arrival, they live in an abundance mindset. They get the prime real estate in the office. They get the undivided attention of the receptionist or the barista. These are micro-wins. Each micro-win releases a small drip of dopamine. By 9 a.m., the early arrival is already winning their day. Now let's talk about the alpha wave gap. This is the secret weapon of high performers. Most people transition from sleep to stress in under 60 minutes. Their brain goes from delta waves to high beta waves instantly. This is jarring for the nervous system. But there's a bridge between these 2 states, alpha waves. This is a state of relaxed alertness. It's when your best ideas happen, like in the shower or just before bed. People who arrive before the rush manufacture an alpha state. They use those 20 minutes of quiet for what's called attention restoration. Environmental psychologists at the University of Michigan studied this. They found that directed attention, the kind you use to answer emails or navigate traffic, is a finite resource. It gets exhausted. But sitting in a quiet, low-stimulation environment restores that attention. The person sitting alone in the office at 8:15 a.m. isn't just waiting, they are recharging their cognitive battery. While their colleagues are still recovering from their commute, the early arrival is already in a flow state. They can do in 2 hours what takes others 4 hours to complete. It's a massive competitive advantage. So why is this so hard for most of us? Enter the planning fallacy. This is a cognitive bias where we underestimate how long a task will take. When you say, "It takes me 30 minutes to get to work," you're lying to yourself. You're thinking of the best-case scenario. You're thinking of that one Sunday morning with zero traffic and all green lights. Psychologists call this optimism bias. People who beat the rush have replaced optimism with realism. They don't plan for the average, they plan for the variance. They know that life happens. Tires go flat, subways break down, coffee spills. By arriving 20 minutes early, they've bought time insurance. If nothing goes wrong, they get 20 minutes of peace. If something does go wrong, they're still on time. It's a no-lose psychological bet. This habit is also a sign of high conscientiousness. In the Big Five personality traits, conscientiousness is the top predictor of career success. It's the ability to be self-disciplined and dutiful. But here's the good news. It's a muscle you can build. You don't have to be born an early person. You just have to change your 0 point. Most people treat their arrival time as the start of the event. The meeting starts at 9, so I arrive at 9. Proactive people treat the arrival time as 20 minutes before the event. This is their buffer zone. How do you start? You have to master the evening prep. In America, we call this eliminating friction. If you have to find your keys, pack your bag, and pick an outfit at 7 a.m., you've already lost the battle. That's decision fatigue before you've even had toast. Successful people automate these small choices the night before. They want their morning brain focused on one thing, getting ahead of the curve. Think about the sovereignty of your morning. When you're in the rush, you are a victim of external forces. You are at the mercy of the bus driver, the traffic lights, and the crowd. This creates a sense of learned helplessness. But when you arrive early, you are the director. You chose the time. You chose the pace. You are exercising agency. This feeling of agency spills over into every other part of your life. You start to believe that you can control your outcomes, because you've already proven it before the sun was even fully up. Imagine walking into your office tomorrow. The lights are dim. The air is cool. You have your favorite drink. You open your laptop and look at your to-do list. There's no one behind you. No one calling your name. You feel a profound sense of mental sovereignty. Now compare that to the person who will burst through those doors in 45 minutes. Clutching a leaking bag, apologizing for being stuck in traffic. Who do you want to be? Arriving before the rush isn't about working more. It's about suffering less. It's about reclaiming the 20 minutes that everyone else throws away. It's about moving from reactive to proactive. Try it tomorrow, just once. Set your alarm 30 minutes earlier. Leave the house before the world wakes up. And feel the quiet power of being ahead of the curve. Thanks for watching. If you found this dive into psychology helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe to join our community of proactive thinkers. Own your time, and I'll see you in the next one.